Welcome to the Vintage Vibe Love Lounge podcast with your hosts Laura and Aneela, where timeless romance meets modern wisdom.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Vintage Vibe Love Lounge podcast, where we are all about celebrating life in every season. Today we are diving into something that can be a bit tough for some, navigating the holidays as a single woman. I'm Laura, and I'm excited to have my co-host Aneela back.
It's great to be back, Laura. Thank you so much. I so enjoyed my time with my family and friends in Toronto. What an experience. I do have to tell you, though, everyone in my circle is married with children in a relationship. And there were moments that voice creeped up into my mind thinking, what's wrong with me? Why am I the oddball here? But it was a beat or two, maybe three, before I realized there's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with any of us that are single. I'm finding my vibe. So I'm excited to be back. Let's get into it. Today's episode is about finding thriving moments, even if it's the season's extra emphasis on family and couple activities, which can sometimes feel isolating. Whether you're single by choice or circumstances, this conversation is for you.
We're going to cover all kinds of practical tips in today's episode, from managing any feelings of loneliness that might pop up, creating new traditions, really focusing on self-care, so important, and even discovering the beauty of solo experiences. This season can be incredibly fulfilling when you set it up in a way that feels right for you.
Exactly. The holidays are about celebrating, connecting, and finding joy. And that can look so different in many ways. By the end of today's episode, we hope you'll feel empowered to create a holiday season that celebrates your unique journey. First, let's get real about loneliness. The holidays can sometimes amplify that feeling, especially with all the family and couple eccentric events around, like I was feeling when I was in Toronto. But it's okay to feel this. Acknowledging is the first step. And that's exactly what I did when I posed the question to my dearest friend, Elizabeth. I said, Lizzie, what's wrong with me? And she said, what do you mean? There's nothing wrong with you. And when I took a beat and kind of replayed some of my experiences and my relationships with Lizzie, who's witnessed most every one of them, it dawned on me. It was my choices.
That is so true, Aneela. Releasing the pressure of having to have it all together during the season, it is such a relief. It's so helpful to just stop carrying that cloak around your shoulders. It's so ridiculous. Nobody does. Everybody's got family stuff that they're avoiding, tolerating, whatever it is. And we're often told that we should feel a certain way during the holidays, but the holidays can be a time for real introspection and growth as well. I know for me, I've spent many of my holidays, for 24 years, I lived a 4.5 hour flight from my family, and it's taxing. It's like I had to choose between, do I go see my nephew's football games or do I go home for the holidays? It's a lot. So coming and going and being the one, like for me specifically, that was not centrally located where everybody else was, it was typically my responsibility, if I wanted to be a part of the holidays, to upend my life and go somewhere. Not saying that's wrong, but it gets to be a lot. So sometimes I just chose to stay in my comfort zone. And, being the age that I am, a lot of my friends are already married. They have their kids, so they do their things. And I would find things to do. But that moment that I let go of feeling like I had to have everything together and have the picture perfect holiday was, I can still remember. It's really a magical moment of release.
Yeah, I love that. And it's so true, that pressure of kind of being torn away. I too am 4.5 hour flight to Toronto from LA. And during the holidays, it gets to be a lot, just a lot of planning. And then, I get there and again, everyone's in their respectful homes and their relationships. And I'm still single coming in and feeling again a little out of place and what's wrong. And it's just natural to have these feelings. But to your point, I think really you have to release the pressure of having it all together, especially during the holiday seasons. We are often told we should feel a certain way and during the holidays, but they can be a time for introspection and growth, like you're saying. It's a time to just relax. And I know we can't because there's so much pressure to be at the forefront, happy, jolly, and go, go, go. But, you got to take the beats. And while on my journey in Toronto, everyone had their lives, everyone's working. I'm the one that's coming in, trying to fit into their world. But I did take the moments to go out and have a walk and be introspective and reflect and really remind myself all is as it's meant to be. It's great. Look at me. I get to travel here. I get to be with them. I get to experience all of this. And then I go back and create my own life. And there's really a beauty to that. But it comes with acceptance.
Now it's the time where we're going to talk about something that for people pleasers, especially during the holiday season where it's about giving to others, we're going to be talking about self-care. This is about giving to yourself first, making sure that your cup is full. The holidays can be stressful for anyone, everyone, whether you're single or not. So making self-care a top priority can help you feel balanced and refreshed. What are some of your self-care traditions you found helpful, Neela?
Yeah, for me, my self-care traditions that I do that really help is daily walks. And whether that's I'm here on the West Coast or East Coast, I find getting out there and being in nature to be almost a meditative state for me. I really process the day, I process events, I replay things, I also plan things. So I find for me, going out there and having fresh air is vital. I have to say, I love the East Coast in this particular time of the year. It's so fresh. The air is crisp. My face feels like it's getting tightened naturally. And I love it. I also, when I'm on the East Coast during the holiday season, I love because it's cold out, putting on the fireplace, sitting there in some cozy socks, putting on some music, writing a gratitude journal, maybe reading a good book. Just that's my form of healing for myself is going internal with the simplest things. Again, lighting a fireplace, sitting there with a good cup of tea, having some music that I love. I love when I'm with my sister-in-law. She absolutely loves doing spa days at home. So she'll bring out her products and generously share it, and we'll put on face masks and we'll sit there in our pajamas. Or we'll put on music and we'll dance in our pajamas with the face mask on. It really feels good to do those type of things. I take these moments to reflect. Um, and I do have this one ritual that I want to share that I've been doing for 20 years. And now I've enrolled my family in doing it as well, is at the end of the year, last week of December, I write 10 points on a piece of paper of what is going to happen for the year to come. And then I seal it and I hold on to that envelope, I hide it. And then a year later, I'll open it. So the ritual is I open the envelope the year before what I've written. I love to do that because believe it or not, 2 to 3 things on that 10 points will have come to fruition. So that's always exciting. and then I write what's going to happen in the coming year and I seal it. So these are the things that I do that, again, are for me and fulfill me. And it really will become whatever you want to do that makes you truly feel like you are nurturing yourself.
I love those ideas. Those are so great. Self-care really can even be as simple as setting boundaries. I know that can be like a 4-letter word for some people, but give yourself permission to say no to any gatherings that don't feel right for you. Make it a season of things that nourish you and your soul and give you that childish holiday giddiness inside. One of the self-care things that I do is I love the smells of the holidays. So I am one of those people that both I enjoy Thanksgiving and Christmas. I give them their proper space, but there's just something so precious and sweet about the joy of the season. And, Thanksgiving it used to be our biggest holiday with our family. But over time, it just got to be too much for me, like I said. And now it really is like for the past 3 years, I have spent Thanksgiving more surrounded by of course, the traditions of Thanksgiving, but celebrating Christmas for me, because that's what I celebrate, and just the lights and the music and all of it, because I go to New York. And because of that tradition that I created of going to New York has now created my life that I have now in New York. It's the biggest reason why I left California for 24 years.
Oh my God, yes. I love the Christmas season so much, like you, Laura. Thanksgiving is one of my favorites just because I love the gathering of everyone coming together. But like you, the East Coast Christmas season is magical. From the lights to the fresh, crisp, cold air. I would totally agree with you. There's something so magical around that time of the year, and I do miss it so much. But I would say reclaim your time and energy, as you said, creating boundaries. I know that's really hard for some people to imagine, but yes, boundaries are important, especially when you're being pulled in every single direction and the tendency to feel guilty that you cannot be there to do everything with everyone, or people pleasing, which I tend to fall into as well. So, self care might be saying yes to some experiences that bring you joy and saying no to others to create boundaries so that you can fulfill your own soul. I mean, look, even if it means taking a solo trip like I do to the East Coast very often, or creating a new hobby, or going out and seeing a holiday show that you wanted to see, if it is anything that you can do during the holiday season, is to embrace the chance to love yourself in whatever activity or non-active active activity to do. Truly, it is about listening to your inner self and what feels good for you. Because as we pointed out, you know, it is hard to create boundaries. It is hard to, fulfill yourself. There is so much, um, I guess, stigma and labels that we put that I'm selfish, I'm people pleaser, whatever it be. These are just voices within us that are hindering us from truly finding the peace within ourselves. So, giving yourself permission to feel a sense of peace and joy during the holiday seasons is so important. How often do we hear people saying, "Oh my God, my family this and my spouse this," and they're just doing the motions, but they're not feeling internally at ease with themselves. So I think that's a really good point, Laura.
So, next up, it is all about creating new traditions. I know this was something for me that was kind of fun. It was a little uncomfortable, not bad, but just, kind of awkward because I was so used to kind of just doing what we did every year. But being able to add a little bit of my signature, my thumbprint, has been really a blessing. This can be really one of the most fun ways to embrace the holidays solo. Just because you're on your own doesn't mean you can't do something special.
Absolutely. It could be as simple as hosting a holiday dinner for other single friends, or even having a festive movie marathon or TV show marathon. I watched the entire season of Suits in one sitting. I know, a show that was on a while back. I never caught it, but I did this time while I was home for the Canadian Thanksgiving. Everyone was at work. I made myself a good cup of tea, sat there and watched the entire season. It was phenomenal. I don't bake, but my sister does, and I thought this could be fun. I should look into more recipes. So, yeah, I you can totally create new traditions and bring in a sense of excitement for yourself. So, I love to make healthy things. And my sister, who's a phenomenal cook, and she bakes the most delicious treats. But I was sitting there thinking, I'm going to start doing this more often for myself at home. But of course, I'll alternate these recipes so they have a little more of a health kick to them.
Or maybe it's gifting yourself a little something. Maybe it sparkles. No, like a special ornament that represents something meaningful for you for that year. Or I love this, donating to a cause close to your heart. And sometimes that's just volunteering your time. And you know what kind of mood you're in for the year, but that for me has always been such a gift. While I feel like I'm giving a gift by, giving of my time, whatever, it really always gives back to me. New traditions bring you back to what the season means to you.
Okay, first of all, yes to sparkles. Anything that sparkles in the holiday works. But yeah, it's like building a personal holiday that reflects your style and values. And just because it's different doesn't mean it's less valuable. You might even end up with a season that feels more authentic than ever.
So, lastly, this is going to be about finding joy in the solo experiences. Some people actually enjoy the calm and quiet, like me, that solo holiday moments can bring. You need to give yourself permission that you're not a bad person, there's not something wrong with you. Being by yourself is the best gift that you can not only give yourself, but everybody else around you. There's just something magical about embracing the season in your own way. You define that. Not me, not Aneela, not society.
Oh, yes, solo experiences. Let's talk about that. Solo experiences can be incredibly rewarding. It can be so simple. Like maybe it means going to the holiday market and just indulging in that, or going to a concert, or maybe jumping in your car and going for a scenic drive and putting on some holiday music. I know for me, that just brings me back to my childhood where we would sit out in the hallways and sing Christmas carols. That was one of my true highlights growing up as a kid. And I think also maybe when we're younger, we feel the need to be amongst everyone to do all these experiences together. But there's something so incredibly rewarding when you're doing it by yourself. For me, if I go sit and put on some Christmas carols and I'm by myself, it really does take me back. It flashes a flashback that I relish and cherish that memory, that moment, the smells, all of it. So taking the time to enjoy these type of moments just with yourself, surprisingly, it can bring a lot of peace.
Exactly. You're free to create the holiday you want on your own terms. Let's call it your holiday vintage vibe. How about that? And by embracing these solo experiences, You might even come away with some newfound confidence and gratitude for the way that things really are.
I agree. Remember, being single doesn't mean you're alone in spirit at all. You are going to be surrounded by people who love you, and it's an opportunity to create a season that fills your heart. Make the holiday season about celebrating you, your uniqueness, your own special moments with yourself, your own self love for yourself, creating your boundaries for yourself, setting expectations for yourself. Holiday is about you. We tend to make it so much about the other person. And yes, it is about the other person, the people we love. But do not neglect yourself. Give yourself a gift for yourself, to yourself.
Ooh, I love that. No, none of us are alone in spirit, Aneela. I love that. Thanks for listening, everyone. We hope this episode has given you some inspiration to enjoy the holidays as a single woman. If you found this helpful, please share it, leave a review, and come back next time for more vintage vibe. And Aneela, you kind of sprinkle more about what's coming forward.
Thanks, Laura, and thank you everyone for tuning in. We hope you're feeling inspired to make this holiday season your own. And hey, if today's talk resonated for you, then you won't want to miss our upcoming episodes where we'll dive into Own Your Own Vibe series. Yeah, you can think of it like a personal style guide for life and love, inspired by some of your favorite characters on the TV series. And just like that, trust me, you won't want to miss discovering which vibe truly speaks to you. Until next time, be well, be happy, be merry.
Thank you for tuning in to the Vintage Vibe Love Lounge. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast and follow us on Instagram at Vintage Vibe Match. Remember, love knows no age. Get out there and find your vibe and keep vibing with us until next time. Connect with us at findyourvintagevibe.com.